Live. And we are live. Good morning, Linda Sunshine West. So
Hello, hello.
glad to speak with you this morning and have this opportunity to learn about this grand opportunity you have and your perspective on why becoming a visible author creates authority and credibility with our ideal clients and with our market. And so I'm looking now and I'm going to I see that it's popped up that we're live, but I don't see the comments yet or don't see anything on LinkedIn. But that's okay. There'll be a replay of this, and
Mm-hmm.
so folks will be able to access it during the day today. And it's early morning in many places, and it's late evening and going into morning in other places. So just great that we'll have this recording.
Yes, exactly. I'm excited to be here today. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your story, and why you say that this is so important for folks to be able to get their message out and to create visibility and credibility and authority as an author.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you again so much for having me here today. A little bit about my story is, first of all, I spent my whole life saying, I'm not a writer. I'm not a writer. I'm not a writer. So the fact that I'm a 22 times number one international best-selling author is kind of a big deal.
Wow.
You know, yeah, that first book was the catalyst to everything.
It builds
And
authority as an author.
how that first book came up was that I had been working with a life coach. I worked with her
Okay.
for 5 months. And after working with her, I ended up meeting somebody who would become my mentor. I didn't know it at the time, but
Oh,
he was writing a book called Footsteps of the Fearless. At that
okay.
time, I was breaking through one fear every single day that year.
Mm,
And one of the fears was, the writing a book thing. And so I ended up jumping into his collaboration book. And by being in his anthology, they call them anthologies, collaboration books. I like calling them collaboration books because it's all about the collaboration to me, the people in the book. And so anyway, I jumped into that book. And after that came out, and I was done with that year, breaking through those fears every day, my
okay.
mentor highly suggested that I write my own book. So I did. I wrote a book called The Year of Fears. And so after
Oh,
that, so this book, this was a really important piece for me to write this book. It took me a year and a half to write it because I didn't realize it at the time, but I've been a starter my whole life, not a finisher. Start, never finish.
mm,
And with that book, it took me a year and a half to finally finish it. I hired a coach that helped me to learn how to finish it. And so I
okay.
did that. And after that book came out, I ended up meeting this woman. She said, I got your book, The Year of Fears. I read the first 14 pages and I already broke through 5 fears. It was,
Whoa.
yeah. And that was exactly what I said. It was in that moment that I realized the power of our stories. It's
Yeah.
not about us. It's not about us at all. It's about sharing our stories because it will inspire, motivate, empower others to take action in their own lives.
Yes.
So after that, I said, okay, I was in a book. I wrote a book. What's my
Okay.
next natural state of progression?
Next
And that was to
book.
start putting together my own collaboration books. So I started down that journey and I did the first one, I did the second one, I did the third one, and I was just doing them for fun, because I never aspired to be a publisher. And at
Yeah.
the end of the third one, when it hit number one international bestseller status in under 5 hours, I said, oh my gosh, look at this. I love what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, and I am damn good at this.
Taking my
This
breath
is what I'm
away
going to do.
right now. Okay. You said, say that again, please.
Well, I love what I'm doing. I
Yes.
know what I'm doing, and I am damn good at it. That
Wow.
triad right there was what I was missing. I had been in business for 7 years, but
Yes.
I was failing at business. I
Uh,
didn't I didn't have all those three pieces together, you
uh-huh.
know? So
Yeah.
once I figured that out, I was like, this is what I'm going to do. Book publishing. I mean, I'm great at this. And
Hmm.
so the next day, for those who are believers in God, which
Yeah.
I am, the next day I got my God moment that was like, you're on the right path.
Okay.
Somebody called me up out of the blue and said, I'm writing 2 books. Will you publish them for me? That was
Really?
my message. And I've been going, just head on ever since. And so it's
Wow.
an amazing journey. Yeah. And I know that doesn't answer your question, but that answers part of the
No, it does. It does. And so you love what you were doing. You knew what you were doing, right? And I've lost the third part. And you're good
I'm
at
damn
it.
good at it. I'm damn
Yes,
good
and
at
you're
it.
good at it. And so it all came together. And it's interesting to me because I see we have someone I know who's an author and a great storyteller on LinkedIn, and she's joined us. So let's say hi to Susanna Dawn.
Hi, Susanna. I
Thanks
don't
for
know her yet. Get to
coming.
know you.
Yes, yes, and I know that she is telling great stories and working on her own compilation of stories
Oh, nice,
and
nice.
publishing them in excerpts on LinkedIn. So this is fabulous because to have a fellow author uh, is just wonderful to have folks because I love that you said you love it, so you're passionate about it. You know how to do it. You've got systems and processes, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're
Oh, yeah.
so good at it. Oh my gosh. And it's just, and to have people benefit from that experience, your experience. And so here we got someone else who I know tells great stories on LinkedIn. This is Nicole. Good
Hello.
morning. Good
Hello.
morning. And you all drop into your the comments for us where you're calling in from, and this will have a recording for other folks who can't be here depending on where they are in the world. But to have Linda Scott, I had spoke to someone named Linda Scott yesterday, also Linda Sunshine West with us, who, Linda, this is just astounding to me that you're a 20 times over
22. 22.
22
Yeah.
international best-selling author. This is fabulous.
The reason I share that 22 is because I'm counting up to 100. So I gotta
Oh,
keep track. I gotta keep
I
track.
got you. I got you. And so here's Susanna Dawn saying, Nicole, she's another amazing writer, and she is. I've been reading her stories. So um, tell us, Linda, from all of your experience, and I want to learn a little bit and share with everyone a little bit about the processes, about what it means conceptually. So first, I was thinking about what does it mean to be an author in an anthology?
Yeah, you know what I especially love about the anthology space, or again, I like to call it collaboration space, because of the collaborations that happen from it. So that's one of the benefits for sure is
Okay,
the collaborations, because the vast majority of these anthology collaboration books are theme oriented. So what
okay,
happens is you jump into a book where other people have the same sort of mindset as you. So
yeah,
when we say, I want to hang out with like-minded people, collaboration books are a great way to find that subset of people that are like-minded. And then what happens is, as an author,
mm,
when you do a solo book, you're by yourself. You can
yeah,
build an army or a team of people to
yeah,
help you, but the investment of time, energy, effort is different because you're not all in the same book, right? You have people that
yes,
are helping you, but in an anthology book, you have this team of people who are like, we're all invested the same. And
yes,
so we all, come together to help each other to, again, to hit those bestseller statuses. There's a published author, which, by the way, there's 24%
yeah.
of the population
20.
is a writer. Like, they've written their story, they've written their message, but
Okay.
only 3% ever publish.
Oh, wow.
So you're part of that 3%, by being a published author. But the anthologies are so amazing because the collaborations that happen outside of the book.
Hmm.
So we have many of our authors that are still in connection with each other from their original books. Plus, what we do as a publishing company is every single month we bring together our authors from all of the books, inviting them to connect with each other. So we're building this huge umbrella. Our mission is to empower 5 million women and men to share their stories to make a greater impact on the planet. So we're bringing together all these positive, uplifting, motivational people together, and then giving them an opportunity to get to connect with each other and
Yeah.
then collaborate. And so, I mean, it's such a beautiful thing. I absolutely love it.
In the same space. And
Yeah.
I'm an author, and I didn't know I was in 3%. I didn't know that. Um,
Congratulations.
thank you. but have written book chapters, many articles, scientific articles. And I tell you now, sometimes I go out on my own and someone needs to take the lead. But I have had some of the best experiences when I've done joint articles with a scientific team. And I have
Mhm.
a group that we look at HIV, and there can be up to 20 of us. But to be supporting each other, to be marketing it, to be talking about it in different venues is the synergy is unbelievable. So,
Yeah.
and I know how it feels different when I'm writing something on my own, or just with, you know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
from my perspective, I'd love to be with people. So sounds like to me being an author in an anthology with your publishing house would be astounding.
I totally agree.
Well, let me
Of
ask
course.
you something, because I know depending on where people are, um, you think about, you say, number one international bestseller. So can I say, or can we say that we are a number one international best-selling author if you didn't write or edit the whole book?
Yes, you can. And because you are part of the whole, right? So now
Okay.
think about the books, the Chicken Soup for the Soul books. These were
Yes.
kind of like the banner, books that started off this whole kind of wave, way back when, 30 years ago or so.
Yes.
And, all of those authors, if it weren't for this person, that person, this person, if it weren't for them, the collaboration would never happen. And
Mm,
so by being part of the whole, you do become a number one. In our books so far, knock on wood, 14 books that we've published so far,
yes.
every single one of them is a number one international best-selling book. So
What
which makes the authors number one international best-selling authors.
did you say? Every single one of the 14?
Hmm. So far to date, yeah, yeah. It's
That's some
been,
kind of track record.
it is. I don't ever promise it because
Yeah.
it's hard to promise that,
Wow.
but that's our track record. Yes.
Well,
We
know,
launched one on Friday and it hit number one international in 5 countries.
in 5 countries.
So, yeah.
Well, and I know the book on Wickedly Smart Woman. The volume one was a major hit.
Yep.
And then I think you have something coming up that you're soliciting authors for, Never Give Up.
Never give up. Yep. Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Oh, this is interesting. And so Nicole has said something here. She said she's gonna launch a collaboration on Thursday, a 40
Awesome.
authors. Look at this. Put her comment up here. She didn't know those numbers either, the 24% and the 3%. She's just
Mm-hmm.
starting. Oh my gosh. What an
Congratulations.
opportunity. Yes. And I'm just so excited. I'm not even sure what to ask you, Linda, because well, people, I always think about, and I'm sure others do, about some logistics, right?
Mm.
So, for logistics, so as an anthology author, collaborative author, how long are the chapters typically? And is there a word limit?
And that ranges per book. With us, the vast majority of them are 3,000 words, which comes out to about 3.5 to 4 pages typed. But then we also have some that are 1,000 words, because once a year we do like a special edition book where we want to invite the newer authors who've never done this before. We invite our past authors as well, but we want to invite people to have an opportunity to be in a book, to see what it's all about. Less words, less money, right? Less of an investment. And so we want to give them that opportunity to see, what is this whole thing all about? And so
Okay.
we do that offering once a year. But usually our books we started off at 2,000, but I
Okay.
found that a lot of people were like, I wish it was just a little more words, so I said, you know what, let's just go up to 3,000 and we'll do 3,000 words, less people. So this way the book isn't like this huge volume, like 1,000 pages. We definitely don't want to do that. That's a little overboard. I'm in a book actually that's over 1,000 pages, one of the collaboration
I
books,
have
and
been too.
that's a lot of words. That's a lot of words.
Those are
And
academic tomes, I call them. Oh my God, we have Lachelle Atkins with us. She's America's
oh my gosh,
supermom.
it's super on.
Look at
I love
this.
Lachelle.
Hey,
Yes.
Lachelle, thanks for joining us.
She's
This
probably
is
she's
fabulous.
serving breakfast for her 15 kids right now.
And
She's
she
so
took
amazing.
out the time to join us, so thank you for that. Yeah, well, and and so to me, it sounds like, depending on your perspective, but 3,000 words is not daunting. And
Mm-mm.
and so also, I got a couple other questions. I don't want to take too much time on our live this morning. What's the average turnaround for from soliciting authors to a book launch?
Oh my gosh, that can range so much. This book, Never Give Up, we're offering a very special offer. It's my birthday. It's my 60th birthday today. And as I
Oh,
was, as, thank
congratulations!
you, thank
6
you.
decades. That is
Oh my
fabulous.
gosh, I can't believe it's like 60. That's like an old number, but I'm not old. It's like it's like
Yes.
that kind of thing. And Kimberly, you're actually the first person I'm talking to this morning. I'm in California and my husband's
Oh,
still sleeping. And so it's like only 7 a.m. on a Sunday.
both coasts.
So,
I always seem to do
whoop,
that.
whoop.
West Coast and East Coast covered every time. This is great.
Combined.
And then some of our other folks were meeting in the middle.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So there were a
Well,
couple questions here I want to get to, but the average time?
yes, the average time it ranges anywhere from like for our books, it has ranged anywhere from 2 weeks up
Okay.
to 6 months,
Yes.
and it really depends on the theme that we're working on. What does our marketing look like for that specific book? And who are we reaching out to? Who's interested? There's so many different factors that go into that, and
Oh,
how many calls am I getting on? There's so many factors. My goal for this book, the Never Give Up book, is I would love to have it filled today. Because if we get this book filled today,
yes.
then we can move forward and get this thing published within the next 2.5 months. So that's
Oh
what
my
we're looking
God.
for. Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of questions, but talking about getting your book filled today, let me um, put up a promo code and I'll drop it in the comments too later on. Let me see. I did do that for us. So there's a promo code, and we're saying Action Takers Publishing, but this is the link. The promo code is Linda Sunshine West, Sunshine 60. So celebrating you today, Linda. So there's the promo code. Now we've got a couple of folks with other comments. I think Susanna said something about her 3,000 words is right on for her because her personal essays are about that length. Yeah, that's what she
Mm,
says. See that? My collections
yep.
of 4 to 5 personal essays have done well in contests. Yeah, she's an award-winning author too. I needed to say that. And then we had someone who asked the question, and it's a very important one. I can't see their identity. They're a LinkedIn user, but they're asking something very important about the length. Wouldn't it depend on how many authors? And that's is what happens with a lot of things that we're used to in publishing. So can you address that for us, please, Linda?
Yeah, definitely. And every publisher is different, right? We have our own thoughts, our own ideas of how this works. So books, the most common size of a book is a 6x9. The second most common size is a 5x8. It's just a little bit smaller. And
Okay.
then there's also what we're working on now, actually, is called TABs, TAB, which is tiny action books, where every single book is actionable. It's a pocketbook size book. People can carry it in their pocket. Those are only 15,000 words. So we're looking at doing different things with our books. So with the 6x9 book, we try to stick around, the 55 to 60,000 words total. So if you
Mhm.
take that number and you divide it by the number of words you're doing, 3,000 words, you got anywhere between 15 and 20 people. So with
Okay.
this book, yes, so 5,000 words, eight authors, that's 40,000 words. Plus you got their bio pages and any other additional pages that are added on there. You're going to be probably around 125, 140 pages, something
Okay.
like that. So yeah, that's a very good number. When you get 50,000, you're hanging out around at 180 pages or so. So it really depends on, again, the publisher. What do they want to do with it? What message do they want to put out there? How many people do they want to have? I will admit that, there have been maybe 2 times that the book wasn't filling up fast enough. And I said, you know what, we're just going to go with it. We're going to go with the number of people that we have. And then
Uh-huh.
we published that book. So sometimes I don't want it to take so long that I just want to get it out there and you get the messages out there. So I'll shorten I'll shorten the length of time to publish, but I'm not going to expand their chapters on that. So every book is different. Every publisher is different, has their own ideas of what that looks like. So,
Yes.
but that's a great number. Yeah. 5,000 words. 5,000 words is kind of, for most of our authors, most of them are newbies. Like they're scared to put their words out there in the first place. Because I broke through a fear every day for a year, I'm really good at helping people to move through that fear phase. And so a lot of our authors are newbies.
I love that. I often bring co-authors on who are newbies. That's been something I love to do, to
Yeah.
mentor them and assign them a certain portion of their article or that I know that they can do and that they can get their feet wet and build their confidence. And I love that. Getting over fears, right? It's the same also like getting over no's. Like I know there's this TED talk, go out and get your 100 no's. So, because it's just an opportunity for you to keep moving forward. So thank you. And I love that that's the way you're supporting your authors,
Mhm.
And then here's Nicole says, but remember, she's starting this anthology or collaborative book on Thursday. She said the max she's done is 1,500. Well, you're getting ready to step up, Nicole, and this is a grand opportunity for you in what you're getting ready to do. Wow. Let's celebrate you and
Woo,
lead
woo, woo, woo. I
on
love it.
Thursday. So, marketing, because you say all 14 of their books so far have been #1 international bestsellers. So I would think this involves some kind of marketing.
A little.
So who does the marketing? And I'm getting at what's your method for selling, for example, on Amazon,
Yeah, we're in the process of trying different things, as what happens in marketing is something called test and measure. Now, by the way, I'm not a marketer, but I know a
Yes.
lot about marketing. I've been in business for 8 years, and so I've done a lot of trainings and learned all these things. And I'm very good at noticing what's happening and the trends and things like that. So this test and measure, when we first started, we were publishing all the books through Ingram Spark, which is a platform that distributes, a distributor. They distribute the book to 40,000 retailers worldwide, including Amazon. Well, now Amazon is where we focus our energy and efforts on that bestseller status because it is the third largest search engine in the world. Google is #1. Google's #1. YouTube is #2, which is owned by Google, and then Amazon is #3. So it's the third largest search engine, meaning that people actually physically will go to Amazon and type in what they're searching for.
Okay.
So this is an important piece of information because in marketing, when we are marketing, we got to think about, oh yeah, people are going to Amazon. What are they looking for?
Oh,
So we were talking a little bit earlier, Kimberly, before we went live about, a specific word to use in the marketing. But if
yeah,
my audience isn't using that word, I shouldn't be using that word either,
yes.
because we might either freak them out. They don't understand. They have questions. We don't want to leave people to question enough. We want them to say, this is it. We don't want them to have to figure
Yeah.
out that this is it. We want to be obvious that this is it. So that's kind of like an overbroad there, but reflective of the question is we create marketing materials for all of our authors. We create several of those. We create all of the content. So we have done all the work to create the materials that go along with them for them to just literally just copy and paste. So we make it as easy as possible
Where
for
have you
our
been in my life?
I've been sitting here trying to figure my own self out. That's what.
Okay. Well, I'm sure glad that I'm with you on your 60th birthday.
It's so much fun.
Create the copy.
Yep.
The materials. You have a method that you teach the authors. I'm sure you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
If
what
you
the coach
pay attention,
does.
if you want to pay attention, you'll learn it. And that's the thing is not everybody cares about that aspect, but it's been fascinating because the vast majority of our testimonials, we have lots of them, they
Yeah.
use one of these 3 words: fast, fun, easy. Those are the 3 words that we hear from every single testimonial. It's been crazy. We don't hear all 3 words for every testimonial, but we hear at least one of those words for every testimonial.
Fast, fun, and easy. That's your
Yeah.
process. Fast,
Yeah.
fun, and easy.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Easy for
that's
you. Okay, we're doing all the work, so it's easy for you.
right. Okay, because you've got a team behind us.
Yes, yes, we have
Wow.
a team of 7 people. I am the leader of the pack, so to speak.
Look
You
at
know,
this. Oh my
but
gosh.
what's interesting about this is I was in the corporate world for 36 years,
Okay.
and in that 36 years, I had 49 jobs. My last 20 years in the corporate world was as a legal secretary. And I had several jobs. I worked for for a judge in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which ended up I worked my way up that ladder in that last 20 to 20th year. And I learned so much in those jobs that I applied today. And I didn't have any idea during that time. I was like, what a stupid job. Like this is how I thought of them. But those skills that I learned, especially as a legal secretary, like
Okay.
we worked for companies like Microsoft, Qualcomm, and these large corporations, and I was herding 30 lawyers at a time. So it's just
That's
like the
like
authors.
that's like cats, right? Herding
Yeah.
cats.
Oh my gosh, talk about it. Yeah.
Everyone has an opinion because I
Yeah.
have some lawyers in my family. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Big time. And so I utilize all those skills and I brought them to this. So my organizational skills of keeping people and organized, none of this stuff stresses me out at all.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
absolutely like I thrive on this. It's so much fun for me. But I bring all of that experience to
To the
this
table.
business
Yes.
and it just everything runs so smoothly from the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we got little fires we're putting out, but the client never knows what's going on behind the scenes. They just know that wow, this was awesome. That's
Yes. And to benefit from that kind of system and process, I'm
yeah.
telling you guys, I have published, and this is really a grand opportunity. And I saw something from Susanna Dawn here. They're having a lot. Thank you for all the interaction and commentary in the chat. And I'll say to everyone, if there are questions there and comments, Linda and I will look at the comments throughout the day and respond to some of your comments. But Susanna said something here. Now, I was getting ready to self-publish a book, and I have a title and everything. And I'm thinking, but I'm going to probably uh, capitalize on this opportunity before I self-publish my book, so I can learn a few more things about
Mhm.
today's publishing world. Because I'm so used to publishing in academic circles, it's a bit different and in scientific journals, all the
Yeah.
peer review and stuff. She says that she's thinking of self-publishing because I want to publish them this year. This process you said you're talking about the turnaround is astounding, and 14 of the last 14 published books have been international bestsellers. So self-publishing, and I'm still thinking about self-publishing ultimately this other book that I want to do, or maybe I won't if I come in with you and learn what you all do and how you can make my life easier as an author.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of folks are thinking that. And they're having a lot of conversation in the chat about words. The LinkedIn user says she finds that 5,000 isn't enough. Now, I was a qualitative researcher, and we have 27-page articles by ourselves, 27, 30-something page. Yet, but there are places where that isn't the right way to get to your reader, something that's so lengthy. And sometimes it needs to be short and quick and really be something that can really attract them and that they can learn from. I have a colleague who's a love coach, and she shared with me that she's publishing this love journal. And I thought, a journal? And they're publishing it? Well, when she showed me the concept, and then I've watched her through the publishing process, my gosh, this is going to be valuable for people. And see,
Mhm.
sometimes for me, I had to flip my perspective from this academic, I need to have 30 pages to report on this study or something, right?
Yeah, well, there's I can't remember who it was, but he said he worked on his speech, and he was supposed to deliver like an hour and a half speech. I can't
Yes.
remember who it was, and he said if I knew it was only going to be 5 minutes, I would have spent double the time writing it because it
Wow.
takes more time to get less words that are as impactful, right? So we can, if we have a long time, like go ahead.
No, you said it takes, say that again.
It takes more time to write less words to be as impactful and
Yes.
or more impactful possibly, right? So being succinct in our message and really honing in on that. One of the things I love about this too is that people who are, especially those who are newer at the writing, writing. They're my favorite because I get to help them to move into that space. I was never a writer either, so I totally get it. But the catharticness that happens in
Yeah.
writing your own story. I
Yeah.
remember one of the women in our book,
Oh, I'm looking
Invisible
at
No
our
More.
time. I'm sorry, Linda,
Oh,
but go ahead and finish your
oh,
story. I'm looking
yeah,
at our time. Time when you're having fun, time just flies.
exactly.
Okay.
Well, okay, so one of the books, Invisible No More, Invincible Forevermore, Dolores was writing her story. She decided, oh, I'm going to go to the local park across the street from my house, and I'm going to sit down and start writing my story. As she was writing her story, tears kind of started coming through her eyes, and her dad he committed suicide when she was 4 years old. Well,
Mhm.
as she was writing her story in the park, these two young girls, looked like twins. They're about 4 years old. They come walking over to her and they said, "Are you a writer?" And they were so excited because they got to meet this woman who was a writer. She goes, "I guess I am," And and what was cool is she said the healing that happened
Mm,
about her father's suicide through
mm,
writing her story, it
mm.
was so cathartic. So I wanted to share that. And she also is in
Right.
academia. She was a professor at a college, and just like, you never know what's going on in somebody's life and how this is going to impact your own life as you're writing it, but then other people's as they're reading it.
Well, and I know what you're saying about less words, more impact. I taught health policy, and I assigned this one page position statement. I'm telling you, I love students. I work really well with them. They tend to like the way I teach and my mentorship and stuff. But I got a reputation. Do you know she asked you to write a one-page paper? And they would write me, "Couldn't it be 4 pages?" No. Couldn't it be three? No. Because you've got to get your message over to the government, and it needs to be impactful and short, clear, concise. So thank you. And I think that sometimes we might want to pour our story out, and it's very useful. Like you said, it was cathartic for her. Also helped her to see herself in a different light. Yet at the same time, once we do that, we can bring it back in so that
Yeah.
it can have more impact for other people. So, Linda, we've at 30 minutes
Oh
now,
my
and
gosh.
I want to be honoring our time. And I want to thank you all for being here this morning, all you wonderful authors. This is great. And burgeoning authors, new authors, established authors. Uh, take uh, take the opportunity to view this as a replay if you want to. Drop your comments into the comment section, and we'll be looking for them on LinkedIn. And you folks on Facebook also, you can DM Linda or myself, or put up a comment and we will respond. Linda, thank you for sharing your expertise and your vision and your support and empowerment for authors with us this morning.
Well, let me share one last thing, Kimberly, that we didn't cover. So the book that we're talking about today is called Never Give Up.
Yeah.
Kimberly jumped into it last night. I did a presentation on, the top 10 ways to become a best-selling author. And so the Never Give Up book, what we're specifically looking for in this book is
Yes.
those who have, faced challenges and you felt like quitting, throwing in the towel, but you didn't. You kept going forward. We want to inspire and motivate our audiences, our readers, to take action in their own lives so they can live the lives that they want to live. And so your story is going to help with that. And because today is my birthday, this offer expires tonight at midnight
Oh,
Pacific time. Tonight at midnight Pacific time, Sunshine 60. That'll give you 60% off on this deal. So go to that link that Kimberly has shared here and then enter the code Sunshine60. Join us. Normally it's $1,500 to be in one of our books. This knocks it down to $599.60 US dollars. So if you're feeling like you want to start to share your story, you want to get out there, get your message out there, and you're a person who does not give up, you're like, I got to keep going. I got to keep going. You're the stories that we want to tell in this book. So thank you so much, Kimberly, for having me. I truly appreciate you. And I can't wait to read your story.
oh, I am so excited. Linda, may I ask something of you?
Yeah.
Since we got to what the concept of the book is and the focus near the end, can you drop that summary into the comments
Yes.
on LinkedIn, and so the folks can know, what the focus is? And I also never give up. Uh, Times when you didn't give up, and how that benefited you and others. So we're
Yes.
looking forward to this. I'm excited, Linda. I am so excited to learn about this modern publishing process.
You're
And
gonna love it.
the thought of Amazon #1 international bestseller is a good thought too. So we'll
Yes.
end there. Drop your comments in. I see there's 7 comments that I haven't seen yet, Linda. So folks are
Ah,
talking. Thank
good.
you, everyone. See you. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful Sunday, or if you're in the part of the world where it's becoming Monday, wonderful Monday also. Take care, everyone.
Happy birthday.